and you're off to the races. So it's like every chest could be the golden ticket, and they are off. All right, we started off with the Turtle Rock big key in Sanctuary. And convenient bombs in Link's Hut, which will be nice for Kakariko.
Always puts your mind at ease.
Chexhuman, interestingly though, goes for the bomb farming route to the south of Kakariko, even with the bombs he found, while our other two runners have chosen for Ajneb Room.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just muscle memory or he just really likes bombs.
Picks one extra one up and is on his way. Justifed going to the Uncle route. We'll see what he gets from a tree pull. Opts against the tree pull and goes straight to the Uncle.
It's like he's going just for the race game, commenting Keysanity just to assume it's something good.
Yeah, there's not too many skippable places in Keysanity, but we have the Moon Pearl on the Uncle and a small key to Skullwood, which is mostly useless, but still, the Moon Pearl on the Uncle is going to be big. Kind of useful.
That 20 rupees appears pretty useless from the race game, but it might be important for him to fully clear Kakariko, depending on what else he gets.
I didn't see it was in the library. It was a little quick.
I think it was 300 rupees or 100.
A nice amount, but probably not coming back for it.
Looks like Xelnastv is the only one making that super early Eastern play, which really only happens in Keysanity.
Like Gamer Cal's been pushing that one as a new way to start off the seed, but we'll see how that works for him.
Yeah, if you can do the dark rooms, there's really no drawback unless Sarmos has something important, and he's already got the flute.
And we have a big 20 in the tree, so that's not going to cause us any consternation. Skullwoods being the green pendant. We got information flying in from all sorts of places as everybody is in somewhere else.
So Xelnastv is going to be able to only make one trip to Kakariko to turn that flute in, which is going to save him a little bit of time.
Absolutely. And he'll be able to use that flute to get around to some of the places like the dam. And we have a sword in the well. An early sword will also put people's minds at ease.
Cape.
Cape and sword. You know what that means.
Signals are flying.
Especially with that early Moon Pearl at the Uncle. It's looking that way. But nice thing about Keysanity, right, is they have to give you 2 keys, so it's even more of a signal. You either have the keys or you don't. And Xelnastv seems to have a bit of an issue. I don't know if he might have lost some progress. He seems to have done a restart. So let's hope that he's not having too many tech issues and he's able to continue. Lots of bombs in Blind's Hut. And a B-Torp. Yep, so the major items to report include a bee in a bottle, a sword, and a cape and a moon pearl. So that flute, not likely to change a whole lot because it only gives you access to 1 extra item at this point without the lantern.
And I think Xelnastv loaded a save state because he has no progress.
Ooh, the mirror on the sick kid will get you a little further with that flute. It's definitely a better seed now that we have best item.
Yeah, that is really good. So Xelnastv is going to be retracing his own steps. Did we see a lumberjack check?
We did. We saw a big 20. I think NYRambler was the one who headed up that way first. So yeah, that's not going to be causing us too many issues. NYRambler getting his mirror. I'm kind of assuming NY means New York. It could mean something completely different.
Nothing comes to mind.
Xelnastv is going to buy bombs, and it looks like he's probably going to head back to get his flute again from Tahashra like he did the first time. So yeah, not much to report in Kakariko, just 3-4 items that all push us towards AGA 1, so see the first one to go to South Shore, maybe they'll give us a little more items down there to give us some direction. Or some escape. So you've got these items early on in the sea after you cleared Kakariko, but obviously you know you can't go straight to AGA 1. Do you like to go to escape? Do you like to go South Shore route?
Oh boy. Probably escape because I don't have Moon Pearl yet, and I'm kind of hoping for Moon Pearl. And as you can see, they're getting Moon Pearl, so it's going to pay off because then they can possibly fake Flipper if they know how to do that, which I'm guessing they do.
Absolutely, that's a good point. Yeah, the Moon Pearl or not makes a big difference. It's 2 extra items you can check with that fake Flipper, and then of course you might have to do a little bit of farming to get some extra rupees before you head all the way to Zora, if you want to do that.
Yeah, it's usually a toss-up for me on deciding if I want to go to Eastern later or South Shore later, just to try to maximize my routing.
Well, we got 1 in Escape and 1 down in Mini Moldorm Cave, so we got 2 in Escape and 1 in Eastern, so we're going to have lots of information here soon. Another pod key in Eastern. The book. Ooh, that Castle Tower first key. I think that was the Ice Rod. So lots of interesting items in the Mini Moldorm Cave.
It's looking more and more like AGA required.
Absolutely. But they may get stuck until they have to wander around and find that second key. Kind of becomes a big gateway to progress. Then of course they have 2 pod keys already, so that's also an early indication of where the seed wants you to go. But whether they'll go early without the bow or not remains to be seen. The Swamp Big Key, not a terribly useful one, found in the underwater area of the dam.
Unlock 1 location.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as big keys go, that's one of the consolation prizes there. I think that's our second. No, we got big key of Turtle Rock and we got 1 small key of Turtle Rock, so some early items there. And Chex is going to go in the dark and go see what he can find in the dark chest.
I think this is really the first big divergence between Rambler and Chex, so we'll see if it pays off for Chex and gives him an advantage.
Just Defend thought about going to AGA 1 already, and then probably realized he doesn't have enough keys for it. Probably thinking like we are that he's going to have to find another one before he actually heads up for real.
Yeah, not fun to do in the dark either.
Zelna's taking a death in Eastern. He's going to start over in Sanctuary and probably make his way to the Lumberjack tree, and he might not even go do that. He might just go turn in his flute. Chex is going to make that play heading up to Aga Tower, at least halfway. Using the B strats. The lantern is an Aga Tower. That's trolly.
Wow. There's got to be a key out there, right?
Yeah, there has to be at this point. I mean, there's just no other way. How many people are going to avoid even going up the climb because they don't have the lantern yet?
Oh boy, that's a tough call.
But we do have some places to go, right? So we have the book, we got the flute, and we got the mirror. So we can go and at least check 2 chests in Desert and the Desert Ledge and Agina, which, rather than just being the one item, being able to check 4 makes it much less of a waste of time. And then, of course, we got, gosh, how many items can we check? We got 4 items we can get on Death Mountain as well. Plus 5, I guess, if we can rescue the old man. Justifan also hauling out the B strats for the ball and chain guards. It's really funny. I'm not sure I would have thought to do that. Also gets his lantern, is debating on whether to continue to the second chest, and he's going. Just 3 bombs. I don't blame him for going for the second chest. You're already up there, and you did get value out of the lantern, so you can't say it was a waste. I guess it would have been better if you had come back with 2, but, hindsight. Think this is going to be our first Ice Rod cave check?
Yeah, I don't think they've come down here yet.
Chex is still well short of the 500 he's going to need for Zora, so makes me wonder if he's going to decide to fake flipper now or put it off until later. Just a bomb upgrade, not much value, and he's not going to fake flipper. I'm not sure I blame him. None of it's in the logic right now anyway, so if you're really just kind of chasing the shadows. Oh, he got a glove somewhere. I missed that.
That was in the Dark Cross in Hyrule Castle, I think.
Oh, that is a fantastic pickup. I mean, we all know that he could have gotten there with the lantern that he then went and got. So he just kind of did a little out of order. But yeah, that's a great find. Not much value in the back, though.
It's looking like it's got to be Death Mountain. It's got to hold something important.
Yeah, or Desert still with the book up. Book and the mitts. Of course, we're short a key, so I guess the mitts don't really help us. Xelnastv is throwing everything in the chicken house, including slashing the chickens. He's having a frustrating time, I can tell.
Technical difficulties are the worst. Hopefully he can recover from that.
And then he goes and has a good 10 seconds at some of the chickens. I'm not sure what they did to deserve that. We'll have to ask him about that later.
So Chex is making the first play to Death Mountain.
He might have, I didn't see why he reset, but he might have actually soft locked it on a chicken clip. That might be why he was hacking at the chickens. Kind of makes sense. That's about where he was. Small key up on Spectacle Rock Cave. And just narrow upgrade inside it, so no bother.
This is a pretty frustrating early game for these guys. They're kind of getting dragged all over the place with not a whole lot of payoff.
Yeah, exactly. They're just giving them everywhere to go, but nothing to get when you get there. Yeah, he does have his book, so he can go check the Small Key of Thieves Town is not really all that helpful right now. But he can check this Ether Tablet. For a Bloomerang.
Probably not coming back for that.
No thanks. All right, Hera, you're our last gasp. You're our last hope of value up here. We got a big key down here, though. To desert? Oh, it's the GT big key. So, not useful now and kills our hopes of an interesting race later. I mean, you know, that interesting last-minute shuffle. But they're all relieved, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's about, well, I think that's the worst item for Go mode, so it's going to make him happy.
Yep.
I think Just Defend's doing this room here for rupees, I think probably because he wants to fake Flipper and do Zora Domain.
Makes sense if you're gearing up that way. We'll see what the sequence break lands him and whether it dramatically changes things. And Rambler sells his B. Also probably to use the money to do the same thing as he flutes to 8. Nope, he's going to flute to 6. Big key up on the desert ledge.
Big keys are plentiful.
And just heading over to activate his flute. You'll probably wind up going to fluting to 8 to do what you said and fake Flipper over to Zora. So Chex with a pretty big play to get the mitts in the dark chest there. That might be something that haunts some of the other runners who have already gone to escape, but got the lantern afterwards and didn't come back to go check that room.
Yeah, that could very possibly be the last room they check.
Meyer Small Key in Desert doesn't provide much value either. Arrow upgrade on the torch, not missing anything there. And Rambler did get the Desert Palace Small Key, so he's going to go over to the east side here and see what we can get. It's got to be something at some point. We're running out of options here.
Yeah, I'm expecting either the final lift upgrade or a hammer.
Or that fateful last Castle Tower Key.
Oh. For his sake, I hope that's not it. Oh.
Oh, it is. It is. It's the second lift upgrade. You were right. So they got a lot of running around to do to make sure to get their Dark World access, and until they get that shopping list done, they're going to be stuck kind of going to the same places. Just Fend about to get his first lift upgrade as well.
Now, hopefully Chexhuman uses that book and goes to Desert after this, and I think he'll be able to maintain his lead if he does that.
And Rambler does not have the lantern from Escape or from Aga Tower, so he's not going to be able to finish this dungeon.
Yeah, I wonder if he's thinking maybe he wants to get the items for Aga Tower before he goes up there, so because he thinks he's going to have to do it.
Well, I'm sorry. Of course, they can't finish it anyway. They don't have the big key. But yeah, when you're getting pointed so heavily, like we were saying 15 minutes ago, they were getting pointed very heavily towards Aga Tower, then suddenly you get 2 lift upgrades out of nowhere. And you've been sent back to Eastern Palace with the big key on the desert ledge. It might take you a while to kind of get out of this loop. Alright, so the vanilla big key chest in Eastern is where that desert small key was, so sending you all over the place.
Yeah, book and desert small key. It has to be the signal that sends Chexhuman over there sooner rather than later.
We did not see the fake flipper play like we expected from Just Fend, but maybe he's going to get ready for that now.
Maybe after he does Bag of Escape. He did just get those gloves to access this, so...
Yeah, this is always a good quick check. You don't want to go on and miss an item in here that was really easy to get. That would have, made some of your later checks much easier or more thorough.
Did he not have a Hyrule Castle small key?
No, we haven't found one yet. And there isn't a place for one on our tracker either because it's not terribly important usually.
Because there he would have been able to grab his Titan's mitts real quickly if he had had one. But now, like I said, he's probably going to drag him all over the seed, and that's going to be the last location he checks.
Yeah, and it's really bad when you get the big key for Eastern, you don't have the bow yet, and you're thinking maybe you have to go back in there, you're running out of places to go. And that might be a long trip for one item that probably isn't going to be nearly as useful. Check's grabbing the big key first, and then we'll think about heading to the east side to grab his Titan's Mitts and become the first one of our runners with Dark World access. Yep, NYRambler is fluting to 5 to go check on that Eastern big key that he got, and we don't know what's in there yet, but I imagine he's going to be disappointed. If it's the bow, yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine with it.
Yeah, that would be a nice find. There's no way the seed's going to be that nice, though?
Not a chance. Be interesting to see where he goes from here now that he's got those. opting not to mirror out. Gonna go check a Gina cave. Makes a lot of sense. Another pod key in Eastern. Oof.
That actually might help him because the others might not go check that. So it may, if there's something important deep in pod.
Yeah, the difference between going with 3 keys and 2 keys is pretty dramatic, and it's that access to the back.
Yep.
Being able to check more items back there can sometimes be the decision point whether you go back there bowless or not. All right, NYRambler does do fake flipper routine, but decides not to go to Hobo and goes straight to Waterfall Cave instead. Blue mail and a heart piece. Good, not groundbreaking.
They're a little low on hearts right now, so that blue mail's a little bit better than it normally is.
Oh, that's very true, especially they head to Dark World. It's going to be a lot friendlier for them with the blue mail.
And he spotted a big key on Zora Ledge, but he's not going to be able to access it with the fake flippers.
No, unfortunately not. Kana Samaria in the early part of Skull Woods, and just an arrow upgrade from Zora, so no payoff. Alright, NYRambler's heading to the right spot now. Hopefully he'll get his lantern and get his other lift upgrade, and he'll be on his way. Xelnastv did just tech Hobo, but I missed it, so...
300 rupees.
Oh, that would be nice value, rather than having to farm for Zora, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, people don't normally start the Zora route unless they have the money for it, so...
No, you really shouldn't. If you're doing that route hoping for 300 on your way, you're probably going to be disappointed. And Best Medallion Bombos is also in Skullwoods. So there's plenty of value heading straight to Skullwoods.
Skullwoods might be the Misery Mire starter kit.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. And they have all the tools they need to get there. Start at least fishing around. Not to complete it.
The only downside is fighting Vitreous with his equipment would be one of the worst things I can imagine.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and Xelnastv takes a death during his fake flippers. He got shot by the Zora as he was about to make his way in the mouth of the cave. That stinks. Oh, a small key in the Bumper Cave. So with our cape, we're off and running to go get that. NYRambler gets his lantern and hopefully will mirror and then go check the dark room. After collecting his 3 bombs, of course. There. Oh. Well, I mean, I guess at this point we know there's nothing in the tree, and we know there's nothing else in. So I mean, that's just kind of a troll key at this point.
Well, I think it can still be Agar required. Yes.
Certainly, yeah. It could be Eastside Death or Dark World required. Good point.
Yeah, at this point,
that would be awful.
Flippers to cross on the north side, or the hammer to cross from the south to the east side.
Yeah.
Or else they have no pod access.
Good point. Good point.
I'd enjoy that.
It's a consolation troll. The bow is in Graveyard Ledge Cave. That's a great grab.
It's a nice spot for it too.
Yeah, if you get an important item like that and there's only one item to check over there, you always feel like you're doing really well. Some other people are probably going to pass it by. He also got his Eastern big key, so rather than going into Eastern without that bow, he's being ahead and back next time and actually finish the whole thing. So saves him a trip, and that's always a good thing in Keysanity to minimize your double and triple dips. I think Rambler has run out of places to go and is a little confused. Unfortunately, he did not make the play to go into the dark sewers. I think Just Defend is having the same quandary right now. That's good news for Xelnastv, who unfortunately did lose some time to check difficulties and might help him catch up a little bit.
Yeah, there have been times where I've completely forgotten about that Dark Cross in Hyrule location. And usually it doesn't bite you. But of course, like this, you see in this seed, sometimes it does have something.
And then you never forget it again, and you... Oh, we got the boots! All right. Just before Thieves Town, too. What a time to find them.
We have exited the walking simulator.
I think Rambler has figured it out. He's on his way. Just going to check 4 here in Thieves Town, because we don't have the big key yet. That small key won't help us for a little while. And we don't have the hammer for it anyway.
I'd be curious, looking at the statistics, if a late hammer, like a hammer locked behind a lot of items, increases the chances that that Thieves Town big chest has something important.
All right, Rambler gets his Titan's Mitt, and he's gone on his way to Dark World. No real value in the first 4 chests of Thieves Town. I mean, still a worthwhile check while you're in the neighborhood. There's no reason to pass those by, but didn't really pay off this time.
He's got the mitt, so he's going to be able to do most of this blacksmith route here.
And hopefully Just Defend looks over his notes and finds that he missed those gloves in the dark sewer and is on his way. Well, he's fluting, so it's not looking like it, no. Another TR key.
Wow.
So Rambler headed down rather than going up to Skull Woods, missing out on the Cane of Samaria and Bombos, but he did get his boots right away, so that'll help him. We'll see if NYRambler heads up to Graveyard Ledge with those boots, since he can also check King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks while he's up that way too.
There's another medallion for Chex. It's really looking like Meyer, T-Rock. One of those two is gonna have something big.
Absolutely.
In fact, when he's done with this route, it might not be a bad idea just to flute down there and check check what the Meyer entrance requirements are.
Yeah, I always find that to be an important thing to go and get done early is even if you maybe can't finish those areas, to go find your medallion requirements, because if you're kind of in limbo wondering if you're in go mode or not without a medallion, it's much better information.
Yeah, I like to make the play even when I have no medallions, just to get the intel. Because, I mean, you are still getting those probably 3 items in Meyer Shed and Checkerboard Cave.
Absolutely. Oh, we got the second. Yep. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, that's just the final mail upgrade, so... It's fairly easy to get red mail, this seed, and they need it, too, because look how many arts they have. It's pretty tough for them.
Xelnastv hopping in to go get his lantern. And Justifend did figure it out. He picks up his Titan's Mitts and he is on his way. Just another B-Torp from the purple chest.
Looks like we're going to get a Bombos tablet check. Unfortunately, he won't be able to grab the contents without the Master Sword, but he'll have the intel. And it's a shield.
Well, sometimes if the item's not even any good, you actually save time by checking it without being able to pull it. You don't have to wait for the animation.
Yep. And it's a shield, so he's probably not coming back for that.
Sorry, shield lovers.
Right, shield dream is dead.
Oh, it looked like Bombos. For Meyer. Justifed headed straight over there rather than going to Village Outcasts.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the cane, but it's probably still a good idea to go in there. You're not really locked out by that many chests by not having the cane.
No, just the one, and you're locked out from that from the big key anyway, so... Still plenty of potential good items in there for progression. Another resident sleeper cave. It's kind of shocking that with all the items that you can get in Keysanity that they can't put a decent one in Hype Cave ever.
Oh, Turtle Rock small key again.
Swamp and Hera are our 5/6 crystals. Xelnastv also, unfortunately, left Escape before picking up his first lift upgrade, so when he heads back to Desert here, he's going to get his first one, but he's going to lack the second one that he needs for further progression.
Justifend did not go into Meyer. Oh, he doesn't have that medallion. So we'll see how fast he decides to come back to that, because I think Chex is going to go in here.
Yeah, we hope he does. So have we found all 4 Turtle Rock small keys at this point? Is that the number we're at?
I think that's 3. I think they've all found the same ones, but I'm not 100%.
All right, well, Check's making the play that both Gloin and I think should be the next in progression. We'll see if that pays off for him.
So if you're making this play and you found the Meyer key in here, would you try to complete the dungeon with this equipment?
Wow. He's got the bow. That's a big difference from the other runners.
Yep.
My bomb count is 8, so I might think about trying to farm bombs. Like, farm, maybe a harsh word. I'm not sure you ever really farm them. Stock up, maybe?
Oh, there you go. There's a 4 bomb drop.
I tend to use, when I'm weak on weapons, I tend to use bomb strats and then try to finish them off with a bow.
Yeah, I would have said no, but then I saw the 4 bomb drop, and now I'm going to say yes.
That was a deal breaker, huh? The deal maker, I should say.
So Rambler's going to get his Misery Mire starter pack.
This is the Misery Mire Catch-22 is if you spend the 2 hours it feels like it takes to get this back chest here, then it's guaranteed it won't have anything, but if you skip it, then it had an item you really needed or the big key.
It's always fun when the vanilla big key chest in Mire is the fire rod. It's always a nice touch.
That's the worst.
I'm hoping. Bless RNG. Powder.
Yeah.
Could lead to something. They've got quite a few safeties now, which is always nice to get.
No!
Oh boy. So Mire is a very important play.
It also makes you feel better about that castle tower key that you found, because you know that's going in the garbage.
Yeah.
Let's hope none of the other runners take the bait.
In fact, I think he's going to throw it off this bridge right here.
It's a good spot for it. Unfortunately,
he only went into that room to throw the key off the ledge.
I think it's just muscle memory to check that chest. I mean, you have to go this way because you don't have enough Mire small keys, but... Oh!
Wow.
All the value. So, did the Misery Mire starter kit just transform itself into the Turtle Rock starter kit?
Yeah. I mean, all they're really missing is Fire Rod, and with the number of small keys they have, it could very well be in there.
Yeah, I mean, you always think of Fire Rod being a big gatekeeper in Turtle Rock, but in Keysanity, it certainly isn't. You can go pretty far without it. It only blocks you from 2 items. And, of course, the boss.
And just looking at Chex's items, he's really close to item go mode.
A good point. It suddenly kind of snuck up on us with the number of items that they got in Mire that they were suddenly this loaded. Unfortunately, we're also pretty far away from key go mode.
Yeah, it's interesting that both the items he got in there unlock east side of Death Mountain, so it's a really strong hint.
Yep, just like waiting until you found the dark chest in Escape, you're going to be waiting until you make the Mire play. No matter what you do. I guess maybe if you made the Aga play, there might be something in Pod, but eventually, obviously, you're going to have to go there. Bonkrox only has an arrow upgrade. The single arrow of value. I bet you thought I was going to use another V word. Ha!
I did. You got me.
I'm a little burnt out on that word, so I try not to ever use it. Alright, Master Sword. Yeah, going into, if you do wind up going into Turtle Rock here, going in with just Fighter Sword is never a good time. Especially trying to kill those pokies and you don't have the Fire Rod.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that. They're not even fun with the Master Sword.
No.
So we got 2 players making the right play for Graveyard Ledge, which is good.
Ooh, the Swamp Key is in King's Tomb.
Ooh.
So that might be the next play to make after Mire instead of going all the way up to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we'll need flippers first.
Of course, yeah.
I'm sure it's in
One
Turtle
thing
Rock,
short.
though.
Yep, we have full access to the D right now, so everyone's loaded up.
I think we're going to set a record for Keysanity times here. This is going really well. But like you said in the pregame, keys could be the gating item.
Another fetch quest. Got the mushroom, the Hera basement key, the Hera big key. So Hookshot Cave is the Hera starter kit and finisher kit. Would you dip over there?
Absolutely.
Like, since you've got it? Yeah, rather than heading into TR? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Rod could be in there.
Chex wisely checking to make sure he didn't leave anything important in Hookshot Cave. And he's going to go get the information about the medallion. Find that he has it. Yep, so we're good on medallions now. And Quake was on digging game, right?
Yes. No. Blacksmith? Blacksmith.
Alright, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's making the right play here.
Absolutely.
There's no downside to doing Hera right now.
Well, especially since you know it's the 5/6 crystal, so unlike, you know, you probably we haven't had a whole lot of information from maps, as you can see from our trackers, but we do know that this is value.
This almost feels like a non-Keysanity seed. They're not really getting restricted all that much. The keys are just kind of showing up right in time.
I'd also be interested to see whether he decides to go to Eastern that he has the big key for and now the bow, and make that play and possibly, you know, switch over to Pod afterwards rather than going into Turtle Rock. The bow does make Pod look much friendlier, even with only 2-3 keys or whatever they have.
Yeah, I wonder if his plan is maybe to clear as much as he can that he's going to have to clear anyway, just to make sure he gets as many pod keys as he can.
There
wow,
they are.
The flippers. This is amazing. It's a jet seed. Is that possible in Keysanity?
Well, he did not get the Swamp Small key from King's Tomb because he got the boots after he went to Graveyard Ledge, so this isn't going to work out for him as well.
Yeah, the only nice thing about that is it's a relatively quick save and quit to Sanctuary and go pick that up. But
he's got so many places he can go right now that seem much more appealing than that one, so we'll see how long it takes him to get there.
Yeah, he's likely to do Turtle Rock and Palace of Darkness and Eastern before he even thinks about it. And while we're at it, Ice Palace. He can do most of Ice Palace now.
Yep. We did get the Ice Palace big key in Hype Cave. That was like the only thing of value in there, so that's definitely on the menu as well. Rambler is making the Eastern play, so we'll see if... we already know that the big chest doesn't have any payoff, but we'll see if Armos does. And whether it's even a crystal. We've been very short on maps in this run.
Yeah, normally that's a good thing, but of course, now that they have all these items, they wish they knew where to go. They're lost. Some Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Just another safety. That's all the bottles.
Is that really a thing?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast?
Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely a thing.
I take it you like it?
No, absolutely not. It was, I believe, a Taco Bell special thing that they had at like every Taco Bell. I don't think they have it anymore. But it was blue.
All right. Yeah, you sold it not being any good when you mentioned Taco Bell, so. I just never heard of it, so I was fascinated. All right, Rambler is going to finish off Armos here while we're getting a Spiral Cave check. And Just Defend is in Mire, so he's going to be finishing his Death Mountain / almost Swamp Palace starter kit. Just the compass of swamp, but he does get a crystal, so you know that's you're right. That might be one of those things that it would be better if you would put it off until you had more pod keys. I did not see him enter Eastern. He actually did not enter Eastern from the Dark World, so we'll see whether he decides to then go from here to pod or somewhere else.
Yeah, he did not bring a portal. But the Mire play is correct, so.
Chex fakes us out, thinks where he's going to swamp, does a head fake, and then heads to pod, and he's going to do the pod Eastern combo. Like you said, all of a sudden you have all the items and everything is available to you, and you know, the order in which you choose one of these things, you know, one of these areas over the other can actually make a huge difference in key sanity depending on which small keys and big keys you get, and you know how much backtracking you have to do. Unfortunately, there's no way to actually... Yeah, see? Look, he checks his map. There's absolutely no information there. So you have nothing to go on. This is kind of some of the RNG of key sanity. You just kind of hope that you chose the right way, that, you know, the keys kind of fall in line.
There's a lot of items in pod, and he can finish Eastern. I'm guessing that's why maybe he's just thinking about Fire Rod could be down here. Let's do it. And it's easier than Turtle Rock. But
he was thinking about Swamp, though, you know, and there might be more keys for pod in Swamp. You never know. There also might be lots of keys for pod in pod, right?
Yeah, but he, like you said earlier, he's missing that Swamp Small key.
Oh, of course not.
It's probably doing him a favor at this point. Otherwise, he'd be overloaded with things to do. And he might be able to go mode Swamp, whereas someone else might get a small key there and get flippers and say, hey, I'm going right in there, and it could be empty. A huge waste of time.
It's possible. I don't know if anyone ever really holds out hope of being able to go mode any dungeons in Key Sanity, though.
I don't know. The way they've been getting items and keys, this seems like it's the dream seed.
Let's hope. But yeah, you're absolutely right about the Swamp Small Key. That is obviously the deciding factor, and probably why he even faked himself out, thinking the same thing, that he thought he had the items, but he forgot that key, so.
I'd say the only disadvantage to him making the pod Eastern play first is he's got to climb Death Mountain again. He was already up there. He could have just dipped right in. We'll see what happens. It's almost a 50-50. So Just Defend is loaded up here from Mire.
Yep, and New York Rambler's going to clear his way through. Xelnastv hasn't quite yet gotten his Meyer starter kit in Skull Wood, so he'll be on that way soon. Interesting. Just Defend seems like he's taken slightly different routes than most of the other runners up to this point. Obviously, still kind of winding up in the same places as you need to go, the same places. But we'll see if he decides to make the Turtle Rock play.
Well, he's got the Turtle Rock map. Chex does, so he's gonna know when he gets out of here if it's a crystal or not, which is nice to know.
I wonder how much that information actually influences decision, though, because it's, you know, it might be a pendant, but if you have all the keys for it, pretty much the seed's telling you go there anyway.
Right. And it gave him the ice rod early, so.
Which pretty much guarantees it's a pendant, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's actually a really good idea from Chex. I've had problems before where I make that bonk back onto there to do the switch, and those beetles walk in front of me and ruin everything, and I have to leave the room and come back.
I think at this point, it's what I've always seen Ben do, at least. I just automatically leave the room. I just jump back there and just sprint right out.
Yeah.
And sprint back up. I don't know if that's the most time efficient. I think what he just did was probably actually better. So I might steal that.
Yeah, I like that.
He wins his epic duel with the mini Helmosaur on the falling bridge. He is out of keys, so he won't be able to check the spike room, but he can still, I'm fairly confident that he is able to hammer jump, so we'll be seeing that hopefully soon.
Xelnastv did a pedestal check, and it's just a map.
The Hyrule Castle key was in pod.
Looks like we're going to see a hammer jump from Chex.
So I feel like there were very few people who actually knew how to do this unless you were an NMG runner, and now anybody in this tournament pretty much figured out that this is a mandatory trick, like the Ice Palace bomb jump is for open.
Yeah, if you use that key and you end up needing one more key, it could be literally anywhere. And you could just spend, I don't know how many minutes, the maximum amount of time you could spend, probably 10, 15 minutes just looking for a key. So yeah, it's mandatory. It's probably more mandatory than the Ice Palace bomb jump in open.
I would not disagree at all. Yeah, you're pretty right. So if there was any value in pod, I missed it.
No, I think the best thing I saw was a Skullwood's big key, which not really a consolation prize.
Just Defend is going to get his Hera keys. We'll see what he decides to do with them. He's going for the map check up there, or maybe he's just assuming that there's something up there and he might not have checked. I didn't see.
Yeah, I thought Chex completely skipped it.
Yeah, he definitely did. He had already left Hookshot Cave by the time he'd even known what was up there, and he just kind of double checked it on the way out.
Chex and Xelnastv are going to both be very disappointed with their Eastern plays here. Chex might be a little upset. He just got a pod key after he just did pod. Yeah, and it looks like Just Defend is going to make the Hera play.
So I guess since you know you can clear Eastern fully and you don't need anything else, if you're going to decide between whether to do pod or Eastern first, you should probably just you know, for that one case right there, or maybe even the big keys in Eastern, just go ahead and clear Eastern first before you head into pod and kind of speculate. But again, hindsight, it's much easier to say from a commentary booth than it is while you're running and you have lots of decisions to make. So, not a criticism. Just kind of a note for later.
This is the first spike cave check. I kind of didn't think about it when Chex was up here.
Yeah, good point. Ooh, maximum value.
Unfortunate part is he's got to reclimb now because he's not done here yet.
So let's hope for Chex's sake that there isn't anything in value in that spike chest. Would stink to go all the way through pod and miss the one thing that's in there.
Did he do vanilla big key or...
No, I think he only had 2 keys when he went in there. So I think he just used it on the room to go back there.
Yeah, that makes sense because everyone else has 3 pod keys and I think they've all done Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
we're
no,
off to Best Palace.
Just Defend has not done Eastern. And yeah, this is the Ice Palace play I briefly mentioned before.
Always the best play, and always correct. Now, to be fair, chat, we weren't debating Baja Blast. I was becoming aware of its existence. I literally had never heard of it before, so I was becoming educated. So we weren't like intending to derail the whole thing, you know.
I haven't had Mountain Dew Ice yet, but it may be similar. It may be the precursor.
I love some good bomb strats. Pretty close. Chex got most of it.
It looks invisible to me. Blends right in.
Yeah. Just Defend did in fact go straight to Hera, but we'll see if he continues on to Turtle Rock. Of course, us in the commentary booth are pushing him to go that way because he's going to give us information that we don't have.
So we had a Doomsday prediction earlier, and I think we just saw the same thing. Xelnastv is assuming the Doomsday scenario and just doing AGA for East Dark World access.
Yep, he did not take the Meyer hint at all, unfortunately. And since we know pod doesn't have much, if any, value in it, this is probably going to wind up being chalked up as a loss.
He could be just taking a gamble because of his time loss at the beginning.
Yeah, it stings when technical difficulties kind of put you in a different state of mind going into your race than you kind of would have had otherwise. So,
because realistically, if the hammer were in pod, let's say, and everyone else was just desperately searching for the hammer, and he just kind of waltzed into Aga Tower, walked into pod, and grabbed the hammer, it'd be a huge advantage. So,
absolutely,
I don't blame him.
Yep, but we have the information that that's not the right play, so yeah, we know, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean he's doing the wrong thing. You're right.
Just Defend's gonna, I think, because the flippers were down here, right?
Yep. 2 more proud owners of flippers between NYRambler and Just Defend.
Yeah, NYRambler and Just Defend have kind of been almost synced up in what they've been doing here lately.
Yeah, ever since I kind of got stuck trying to find the Titans mitts, they've been pretty much doing the same things. Those may just look like 50 rupees, but they're 50 Ice Palace rupees. They're worth more in the outer world.
Oh, shield. Is he gonna go back for the riot shield?
I don't think so, Tim.
I mean, he knows he's gonna be going to Turtle Rock soon. If he's gonna do it.
Ooh, there's a good find. See, Ice Palace has all the value.
Yeah, if that's the best of what he finds in here, he's got to go to Turtle Rock after this. He's equipped for it now, too.
Does remember that he does have the big key. For all that value.
Just defend, didn't do Zora in the early game.
It's our first check. What's on the pyramid, huh? It's just a heart.
I'm sorry, he did do Zora. He's grabbing what's on the ledge.
Oh, we haven't seen this yet. Ooh, that could be big. I wonder how many other people forgot it as well.
Oh,
did Chex even head up that way? Did he even fake Flipper? Because no, he didn't. He only has blue mail. So that's going to have to be on his to-do list. That might work out for him because he will know that he hasn't even gone up there yet.
That's true.
All right, both NYRambler and Justifend have a decision point where to go. They're in that same boat, and they're probably going to make the same play to go. Rambler does have the small key for Swamp, and he's going to make the Swamp play.
This could get him back into the game.
An ice key in ice. After he no longer needs keys, of course. Yeah, you're right. Since we know that Chex has gone to Pod with no value, and he's gone to Ice with minimal value, making this Swamp play early may get him on the fast track back into the trail of keys that are required to complete the game. I tend to find that happens a lot in Keysanity, where you finally get on the trail, and then there's like you find the one big key, and then that boss has another big key, and then you go to there, and there, it was this thread of items that you have to find the starter location for, and then once you find that, you're on your way.
Just gotta be a little careful here. These Cold Star Puffs do a lot of damage.
Alright, he got it down, no problem. But there was a crystal, so... That's crystal number 3?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about NYRambler getting back into this with the Swamp play. If he does get back into it with the Swamp play, we know that Chexhuman is going to have a hard time coming across that Swamp Palace small key in King's Tomb. So a small advantage here could turn into a huge advantage if he doesn't get that key.
That's a very good point. Chex is heading this direction, but I'm not sure what he's here for. Oh, he's gonna go check Pyramid. Probably Catfish.
Rambler's already gotten some value. He's got the Misery Mire big key.
Chex might route into King's Tomb check after he goes and checks pyramid and catfish.
Looks like, is he going to do the Zora domain flippers stuff?
It's possible. He probably wouldn't have gone to Dark World first if that's what he was going to do exclusively.
That's true.
We know there's another heart container waiting for Chex at the top of the pyramid. He's probably going to pass it since he has 14 already. Nope, decides for the extra safety.
Yeah, hearts were hard to come by early, but they're finding them all over the place now. Rambler just found one in the swamp big chest as well.
Is he going to AGA 1 again? Did he not get the second item? He's going to be disappointed with this as well, unfortunately. I do like the play as far as the route goes, though. In case that was an important item, you know, this is a pretty good way to kind of fit that back in your schedule. Another pod key in Swamp.
And I'm pretty sure Rambler hasn't gone to pod, right?
No, not yet.
So this is working out well for him so far. Xelnastv is finding all of his Palace of Darkness disappointments. As is Just Defend. So Chex is making a catfish check. And this is going to work perfect with his routing. Like you were saying, he's going to be able to go do Zora Domain after this.
Yeah, let's just hope that he kind of comes back for King's Tomb for his sake. If
Yeah, he's really isolating it.
yeah, because if he doesn't go now, I struggle to think when he's going to do it. Thieves Town Big Key in Swamp.
That's huge.
Just a small ice key for him, then which obviously he's well past needing. Now he's a red spooky outline thing. Or is he pink?
I believe that's a pinkish... fuchsia? Is that the appropriate color?
Like a lightish red from Red versus Blue. So, does NYRambler follow the trail and head over to Thieves Town? He has the hammer, he has the big key, he has the small key. Or it's the desert key that Chex is about to pick up. Is that the real value? NYRambler trying to use the ice rod on Argus. Oh, we're making the King's Tomb play.
Oh. He just really does not want to go to Turtle Rock.
I'm sure he's happy to find that.
And since he wanted to go there earlier and couldn't, I'd be surprised if he didn't go there now.
Yep, right after he checks Bonk Rocks. All right, we just saw a check that Thieves Town is in fact a crystal. No reason not to go there right away. After Swamp. Oh, he's gonna go check. He's gonna go check Fat Fairy first, since he just got his second 5/6 crystal. That makes a lot of sense. He also has not yet. NYRambler has also not yet checked Pyramid, so this is a really good routing decision from him.
Yeah, this is really nice. I'd forgotten about the Fat Fairy crystals. And since they could do these this early, maybe it's got something.
Yeah, when those are the keys that you get early in the seed, it's hard to overlook that as being a clue.
You just can't get enough of that Baja Blast. You need some more.
Are we working for some advertising dollars here on the Ocho? I feel like we're due. Although I'm not sure we gave it a rave review. Maybe that's not how we earn them. We'll find something else to pitch. Chex is going for it. How about that? We'll get Chex some money out of this.
Oh, nothing in Fat Fairy.
Oh. Still, I mean, it's a good play. Just doesn't work out. Will Rambler go for Catfish? Looking likely. Turtle Rock also a crystal.
Yeah, he knows about the Desert Palace Big Key, and so he's probably going to plan on picking that up on the way up here.
Yeah, good point. Let's see what's in the Skull Woods chest. Disappointment. Hot, fresh, and saucy disappointment. Oh, have we had a mushroom check? Did Chex just do that?
I don't think I saw it. Maybe he did.
Yeah, that's right. He came back for more potions. He probably checked it. I don't think it was anything. Yeah, small key for GT, and I think they've got at least 17 of those by now, so they should be good. Ganon's true ultimate ability is that he's actually a master locksmith.
Doesn't even need the keys to his own tower.
He doesn't actually bother putting up like difficult enemies or anything. He just puts a ton of locked doors.
So Xelnastv finally making the play into Meyer. He's going to be happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah, this late in the game, you got to be pretty frustrated that you haven't found key items like, oh, and he takes a death. Well, let's hope he just keeps going, plugging away at this. So the hammer pegs paid off with a massive 1 rupee. Let's see if we can get maybe 20 times the value out of the magic bat. Nope. No. Same one. They've been shopping at the same store. So if you're ever doing one of those white elephant exchanges and you get a present from the magic bat, you might want to go ahead and let somebody else have it.
If I'm not mistaken, Rambler mirrored after Catfish and then fluted. I think he left the desert big key behind.
Yep, and that's what our trackers are saying as well. It might have been so long ago he might have forgotten about it, unfortunately. He's far too enticed by the play in Thieves Town.
Well, for his sake, I hope Desert's a pendant.
Agreed. I mean, that key only gets them 2 items, so if one of them is, if it is a pendant, then it's entirely possible it's skippable.
Actually, it's very statistically probable that it is based on what we know, right? We're unsure about Pod and Meyer, and 2 out of the 3 remaining, I think, have to be pendants.
Yep, exactly right.
Check's going into Swamp, still ignoring my, what I think is great advice to go to TR. Can't they hear me?
Oh, I missed that they got the Meyer key. That's also very interesting about going back and finishing that off. Maybe they're hoping that they get more information from maps before they make that decision about whether to go finish that off or not. But now Chex has both the big key for Desert and for Meyer, so neither one of which will really take that long.
And they could both be pendants too.
Yuck.
That would be awful. It's what,
Debated.
three items total?
Yeah. All that time for 3 items and 2 pendants, that would be thoroughly debated.
I think the first item on the backside of Thieves Town is a small Meyer key. But there's 3 chances left.
I thought he just got a compass.
Oh, was it a compass?
Yeah, it's even worse.
Well, just as good as a Meyer small key.
Ooh, he's got the pod information. That's going to help us out. Whether it helps him out or not, we'll find out.
Yeah, if that's a crystal, that's great news for him.
Xelnastv finding his hook shot and is not happy.
Silver arrows in the Thieves Town big chest.
It's a good find, but not really progression as per se. Yep, Xelnastv is pretty upset. He just bonked that chest a few times as well. Realizing he should have come here a while ago, and that he also is now realizing that the Aga play did not pay off for him.
NYRambler starting his blind fight.
Yep, Justifen's about to finish his Argus fight. Nice and easy. He gets his 3rd crystal. It might be off to Ice Palace for him as well. Oh, unfortunately, we know that that's not going to pay off for Rambler. So no, Thieves Town wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't the advantage that he had hoped it was. He's going to need to go back to Desert more than or get that Desert key more than likely. So, Fire Rod, right?
Pod is a pendant.
Pod is a pendant. It had all the value of a pendant.
And Rambler
So,
playing dice.
Based on what we know and all the locations they've checked, I think you would have made out like a bandit going to Turtle Rock early, because it's highly probable that that's exactly where the Fire Rod is.
Yeah, it just seemed those keys just came way too easy.
Yeah, I agree. When you get the early keys, it always is a big beacon. But yeah, I think if you get that Fire Rod early, you're probably close to go moding some of these dungeons. You probably have to do some big key hunting, but you'd be just about to the finish line.
Actually, we have intel on all the important big keys now, right?
Well, yeah. If Pod does not lock the Fire Rod in any way, we do.
Yeah, Pod sucks this seed, so.
Pod, you are hereby dismissed. go find yourself another game. You can go be level 9 of Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers. We don't care. Just go. Just go.
Yeah, Rambler can just ignore pod, right? There was nothing.
Well, he can. Whether anybody ever chooses to leave 14 items behind, assuming that they're all garbage, that's a brave statement.
Yeah, if he gets his Tempered Sword in here and says, I can do Turtle Rock.
Let's hope for his sake that he does, based on what we know. I just would not blame him for not making that play. That's a tall order.
So Chex makes quick work of Swamp there, and come on, buddy. You know what to do.
Yep, he knows to go to Fat Fairy. That's the play.
This is a good time to do it.
Absolutely.
He walked out of Swamp, so.
Yep.
Just Defend is using that Desert Palace Big Key, and he's rewarded with a compass. And
Well, he might be rewarded with a crystal, so.
Yeah, that's possible.
Go to 1. Nope. Well, that's right. He did just get the Thieves Town key, so this actually makes more sense. He might also be assuming, that he has to go do Thieves Town, and maybe he'll pop by Desert, and then might actually get to do the very rarely seen in Keysanity Turtle Rock straight to Ganon's Tower play.
Whew. I think that's asking for a little much. Just Defend, I think, is going to put us one item away from Commentator's No Mode here. Once we know whether this is a crystal or a pendant, it just comes down to the Fire Rod.
Yeah, Just Defend trying to use the Ice Rod on Landmo, which is very effective, but unfortunately requires a little bit of extra range in order to actually do any damage for whatever reason. So yeah, you can't point blank them like you can with a Fire Rod.
And
It is. Yep.
Meyer is a pendant, if my math is correct.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that does mean that Rambler's going to have to make another long trek back up to the Zora area just for that one key, or he's going to be stuck.
Look at Xelnastv. He's the man.
All right, this is what we wanted to see. He may look like a chicken, but he's no chicken.
Let's see a comeback.
Oh, there's the value.
0 for 1.
Justifan also heading into Thieves Town. I don't think he's been at all yet. That's very interesting that he passed up the first 4 chests, the first route through Village Outcast, but we know that that actually worked out for him.
So far, Turtle Rock not doing its job. I'm really disappointed in it. Rambler picks up his tempered sword.
Sure, he's a much happier customer now, especially going into Cold Stare.
See if Xelnastv decides to check this vanilla big key chest. It's pretty rare.
Nope. Oh, sorry. He's just going after the pokey.
Those Master Sword woes.
Is he?
Yep.
Wow.
This could bite him.
Or it could save him. Nope. Well, so we know he won't be able to, unless there's another Turtle Rock small key in here, and I don't think there is. I think we found all 4 of them. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do Trinex this run.
I mean, yeah, Fire Rod's in that chest. That's a huge play.
Exactly.
Other people are probably going to skip it. He's probably still just trying to make those gambles. But it's going to really sting if he finds it on Laser Bridge.
Yep. Almost as much as it stings to fight these pokies with Master Sword when they keep bouncing in your face.
Now I know why people didn't come in here with Fire Rod.
Eek.
It's all clear now.
It's like they take more damage than Vitreous.
It's like a bunch of little Vitreous eyeballs stacked up on top of each other.
Not sure Chex knows that this is a crystal. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I don't think we found the map for this yet, but he's going to be very happy with this result. Should know that pod is a pendant because he did just pick up the pod map in Thieves Town. Knows that Skull Woods is a pendant from Sahasrahla. So that will narrow the rest of it down for him.
There it is. Mimic Cave.
Wow.
The Fire Rod. I think that's it. We know where everything is.
I dare say if you had run this seed, you would have killed it.
Nah, I would have missed a key somewhere.
I don't know. Most of the keys were like pretty much along the way to you picking up the crystals that you needed done. I feel like the runners only went to pod because it was kind of there and they had the Eastern, you know, and we always want to double up Eastern and pod, not because pod was particularly attractive or all that, you know, good key-wise. I mean, they didn't have the big key and they only had like 3 keys, which is enough to get most of the things, but maybe I'm just being bitter and biased because, you know, pod mistreated us so badly this season. It's sour grapes.
Yeah, it's rare that it's 100% useless.
All right, Rambler finally heading his way into Turtle Rock as well. Unfortunately, he will not be able to turn around and go into Ganon's Tower because he missed the big key and did not do Desert. But we know Chexhuman will be able to make that play.
Yes, like you said, that's going to pay off for him. It was nice that Fire Rod wasn't required anywhere else.
Yep.
So actually, Chex routed this actually incredibly well.
He really, really did. I think he's going to look back at this race and pat himself on the back for a lot of the decisions he made.
A pod big key. Oh no.
That's I guess maybe might have been the downside if you had done this
Yeah.
early, is you might have gotten jebaited straight into pod fully anyway. So maybe that might not have been as big of a save. All the keys on Laser Bridge, and yet we can't spare hardly one for Hype Cave.
All the value was in Mimic Cave. The rest of TR was useless.
Yep. But we know it's useless because, you know, everyone else is in no mode, or we're in no mode. And everyone else who's coming here is going to be in go mode once they get their Fire Rod. But, you know, if you had just come in here early, you think suddenly you're, you know, have a wealth of keys to go find stuff with, that
Yeah.
a lot of which aren't going to pay off for you. I like how he's checking, just out of probably pure habit that he's doing this with the. Yeah, you could just go right through. It's always a good feeling to just go straight past the chain chomps, but it's kind of hard to remember sometimes that you can do that.
Yeah. Now Rambler checked the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah, we know that that's going to cost him as well. I mean, I don't remember exactly where the last Turtle Rock key is, but he's going to have another hunt on his hand in addition to finding the desert
What if
big key.
Chex checks it? Checks.
Nope.
It's incredible to me how just the Fire Rod not being in Vanilla Big Key and being instead in Mimic Cave would just completely flip this race.
Absolutely. Right here. So I will say, you know, it's always a lengthy debate of whether you should skip that middle chest or not. And when you're in close to go mode like this, you know, you absolutely should. But if if you had come as early as, you know, we could have come here, what, like 30 minutes into this seed if we wanted to. If you had come back then it would have been absolutely the wrong play, because there could have been a whole bunch of items that were required that you would need to get. And, you know, if you'd made your way to Laser Bridge, you would be taking forever to go find another key to come back into Turtle Rock to go check that chest to get, say, something like the flippers. And that would just be terrible. So since we're in that goest of modes, do you want to be the shouty guy and yell for everybody so that make sure they woke up and that they know that we're, you know, gonna go kill the pig now, or you want to do that?
I'm not much of a yeller.
Then a polite golf clap from everybody for beginning the go mode process. Huzzah, huzzah! Tiny clap.
They can just spam all caps in chat. I see that as yelling, and I hear it.
It is, yeah, it absolutely is. So
yeah, Chex is. I'm trying to think of a play that I could possibly say he didn't do well, and I can't think of anything. It seems like you brought it perfect.
Just about, yeah. With the exception of possibly getting, if he had gone with the boots up to King's Tomb before he had gone and checked. But I mean, how are you going to make that play? That is the magic of Keysanity of finding items out of order. Since there's so many items that you have to find, there's no way you're going to nail everything. The fact that he even got that close is a testament to how well he played this. Oh, and Xelnastv does get his blue boomerang. I missed that Just Defend had his already.
Chex just gave Trinex the business.
I hope he left his card. He gets the lag meringue as a reward as he makes his way to Ganon's Tower.
Oh man, Rambler! I didn't even think about this. Getting trolled with that small key popping up and then it says reminder.
Yep. That was the unfortunate thing about checking that middle chest. You know, it's gonna debate him all over the place trying to find another TR key so he can come back and finish this off. And I feel like for the most part he has run a pretty good race. It's just a couple things have gone wrong for him, and he also has an opponent who, you know, played just about an A+ race here. So it's probably eventually gonna chalk him up as a loss. But that's you know, he did really well here. He should be proud of how he played.
I'm trying to think of where that key could possibly be. We've checked almost everything. I mean, it could be Deep Pod or on Vitreous, and that's about it. Oh, Skull Woods too. Deep Skull Woods or a Green Pendant.
Never go into the deep woods. It's dangerous.
I think that's his first choice here. Although maybe he'll come across... No, I was going to say maybe he'll come across the Desert Palace Big Key, but that's another problem he's got.
Yep. Yeah, if he would have been able to finish off Turtle Rock, he would have had a more limited selection of places he could go after Turtle Rock, and probably would have gone back and remembered the Zora Ledge sooner. But no, let's just give him some extra keys to kind of worry about.
Someone seems to be playing tag with the Fireball. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Now he's wandering to the wrong part of the top of Hera. I think he was looking for a switch, possibly, so he could get more hearts.
Rambler doing a pedestal check.
Oh boy.
It's a man.
Meanwhile, Chex is making absolute short work of this this gauntlet. Right up until I said that, and then he gets trolled by this stupid Stalfos.
I hate this room.
Yeah, this room is kind of nice if you use the fire rod. For some reason, when you bounce it off those skulls and off the wall, oftentimes you'll miss the shot, but you'll get the ricochet, and it'll kill him anyway. I have no idea why that works.
Splash damage.
I don't know. It seemed to do more damage than if you were actually to get a direct hit, but, you know, whatever. Ice physics.
Yeah, Rambler's making the play I would probably make in the situation. He's gonna do this, get the green pendant, and if he still needs it, he can grab that when he does pod.
Yep. Although maybe the dot done he'll see from his opponent here in about 4 or 5 minutes might change his routing. We are on 6F. We've checked the directory, and we know which room we're in, so in case we were lost. Oh, and he checks the chest for us. What a troop. Just Defend is making the play to go finish up Meyer. He decides not to go to Turtle Rock. Probably worried about, you know, missing the fire rod, having to clear all of Turtle Rock, and come back for the fire rod. So you get the ice rod instead.
Another thing which I hadn't thought is he's kind of got 2 items too. If he gets the other key for Turtle Rock, that kind of gives you a little bit more assurance when you go up there.
Yep.
It's not a horrible idea.
Not usually something that you would hold up trying to do a go mode like progression for, but that was a nice triple from Chex.
We're on to Ganon.
I'm sure we'll see the sub 150 here, and that's a good time for Keysanity. NYRambler forgetting he needs a monkey to get in there.
I think this
Pod
is
does not open itself.
I think this is a bug, and it happens to me every time, so that's why I'm assuming it's a bug. If you mirror back from the light world over there, Kiki just doesn't follow you out of there.
Yeah, I think when you have iframes, he doesn't latch on to you.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Chex is making the scan look easy.
Yeah, when you get one of those, you know, 2 prime spawns, it always really helps out. He doesn't have half magic, so he decides not to use the cape, and of course, if you get a good location like that, you don't even really need it. And of course, he has plenty of Baja Blast, just in case things go awry.
I'm refreshed just thinking about it.
We're trying to get that money back. Double to start, get the torch hit, catch him on the way up, and 2 more shots in the butt. Not for medicine, but for a bad time, and he does get his sub 150. GG to Chexhuman.
Just Defend takes down Vitreous as well. Oh no! It's the Turtle Rock small key that NYRambler is looking for.
Oh no. And Xelnastv is going to have to go do it too. You called it. You called it. Chex finishes with a first place time of 1:49.27.
GG Chex. So Rambler is going to do what everyone loves to do, and that's 100% a seed.
It's a dream.
So Defend is going to be guaranteed to one-shot Turtle Rock.
Yep, and that's always a good feeling.
And I can't believe I didn't see he picked up the Riot Shield. Amazing. I'm so glad he did that for me.
Why not? Why not?
He might not have checked it earlier. It might have been just part of his routing. So
That's true. Oh no, he doesn't know which dungeon to go to. But he should. He should have gotten the He should have gotten the map. He should know that this is a pendant.
he might still be looking for the fire rod.
Oh, he is.
He's just committed to it not being in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, unfortunately, we all know that the longer he puts this off, the worse of a time he's going to have. So, yeah, let's see if we can get Chex in here. Oh, you're already making attempts to get that together? Good job. You're way more on the ball than I am. And Xelnastv, unfortunately, did not pop the switch to head over to the... What? Where? Yeah, you gotta go hit the... He's gotta go hit the switch so he can go access that last item on the west side of Swamp Palace. It's not quite flooding the key, but it's another feels bad, man.
I don't think there's anything worse than flooding the key.
Yeah, flooding the key on a restream. He hits the switch again, but not the right one.
Probably wanted it to overflow even more and drown his sorrows.
Is there a switch that fills the place with beer?
And we've got Chexhuman in here with us. GG, Chex.
GG.
How do you feel about that seed, buddy?
It was a pretty fun seed. I suspected the fire rod was in Turtle Rock, and that might change the course of the seed.
Yeah, I was looking back on it, and I was trying to find out how you could have routed it better, but really you couldn't have because fire rod wasn't really needed for anything else. So the fact that you were missing out on it didn't really make a difference. So you were able to just jump right over from TR to GT.
Yeah. Did others go to Skull Woods?
Not until after they'd already been to up to Turtle Rock. They got the fire rod, but unfortunately they checked the middle chest and only had 3 keys because the 4th key is on Vitreous.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're in for a bit of a world of hurt, and they're kind of still finishing that up right now.
Yeah, did you pretty much just follow the items as you were given and do those dungeons?
Pretty much. I felt like I was doing a little bit too much overworld stuff, because one dungeon kind of led to the next. And then Desert and Mire toward the end there were pretty convenient. Like one dungeon could answer the other about which one was the pendant. So once I realized Mire was a pendant, I felt like it had little value.
Yeah, other than being able to finish off Turtle Rock. It was a good call. We were actually worried about you finding the swamp key because you went up to go to Graveyard Ledge and then went and got your boots rather than the other way around.
Right.
And we were worried that you were going to just spend so much time in dungeons with all the dungeon keys that you had that you were never going to kind of peek back around to that corner. But fortunately you did, so.
Yeah. That was a good overworld check, I guess.
Yeah, it was actually a very important one. The beginning of the seed was a little rough for you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, continue. It was rough for me?
No, it was actually rough for everybody, right? Because, they gave you a lot of items, but, and they kind of really teased the Aga 1 play pretty badly.
Yes, that was
good. But then they pulled it away from you. What were you thinking?
Yeah. Yes, I was just going to bring that up. I was suspecting it would be a hammer on East Dark World seed. And I felt that the logic would push you through Aghanim into Pod for hammer or something like that. So Meyer was where the hammer was. So that thought was dashed. If it were an AGA required seed, I would have tried to use a Boots Water Walk to get to the east side, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a very handy trick to know in that situation. Can definitely save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you alluded to there, it was kind of like a double AGA fake out. Just the beginning of the game, you was really looking for access to Dark World. And then later on, it was like, well, no hammer. I still might have to do Aghanim, but fortunately, it ended up being in Meyer. Yeah, the play that really put you ahead and kind of never really looked back was making the play into the Dark Cross in Hyrule Castle. You had those first set of gloves before anyone else.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Cape was essential there. Because it led to Lamp. And I thought that was pretty funny that I did that backwards. Because I went through the dark sewers first and then immediately got the Lamp.
Yeah, a
Where
lot of
was
the
Cape?
other runners. Cape was in Kakariko, I believe. It was in Chicken Hut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But a lot of the other runners got the lantern and then mirrored or fluted away, or mirrored and then fluted away rather than remembering to go back to the dark sewer. So it wasn't until they got their first lift upgrade in Desert, where you got your second lift upgrade, that they finally went back and said, all right, where did I miss? And of course, the Hyrule Castle key wasn't around to help them out either, because that was somewhere deep in Dark World.
Oh, yeah.
So how are you liking the tournament so far? How are you liking progress?
It's huge. I'm just thankful to all the admin and everyone putting it on, everyone volunteering, and I don't know. It's just fun to play as well.
I mean, it makes entrance. Or I mean, it's got to be a lot more fun after playing so much entrance, right?
Oh yeah. I was a little worried that I played entrance last night instead of just a regular Keysanity. But that's a really fun mode, which I recommend to everyone, at least to check it out.
So you're 2-1 now, so I'm sure you can look forward to a pretty difficult matchup in the next round.
Yeah, I mean, just think you could get either TGH or ACM, or you could get Framey or Magus.
Uh-huh.
So go ahead and let that haunt you for the rest of the week.
That's fine. I don't expect to win.
Actually, if you play like you did in this seed against them, you've got a chance, I think, probably to beat anyone.
I agree completely. Yeah, Gloin is absolutely right. You
I
couldn't
appreciate
fear
that.
hardly anybody with the way you played in this seed. So
Yeah. Usually routing, I get a little jumbled up and make some routing mistakes about an hour in, but this time the routing seemed to be on my side.
yeah, definitely. All, I mean, we were the. Yeah. I'm not sure if I just cut off there.
You did.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
No, okay, I apologize. I think I just had a keyboard malfunction. Anyway, I was just saying we were worried that you were going to check the middle chest like the other runners did and wind up missing out on the fire. Well, you would get the fire rod, but then you'd miss out on going to Trinex and have to go on a merry little jaunt over to Misery Mire. But fortunately, you did not do that, and we're grateful.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Speaking of which, Rambler is picking up his small key right now.
And Just Defend just picked up his fire rod and is in go mode. Chex, are you much of a shouter?
Oh no, I'm not.
Okay, we're trying to look for a shouter to take over yelling go mode for us because we can't. It's not our thing.
I really appreciate the opportunity, but I almost whisper when I'm streaming.
You can whisper go mode for us. We'd appreciate it.
All right, everybody. NYRambler has entered Go mode.
Perfect.
Sorry, it was just defend that entered go mode, so you have to do it again.
Rambler is also in go mode.
Oh, that's true.
No, he's not. He missed the
that's right.
Desert Big Key.
Oh, that's so
Keep
rough.
forgetting that. He is. Ugh.
Yeah, this is why you leave the commentating to the commentators and not the racers and competitors.
I don't know. I think you'll go back and watch this VOD and think otherwise. You'd be like, I can do that.
We're going to apply immediately. Bring some integrity to the commentary booth.
They stick us on the Ocho for a reason, you know? Speaking of which, though, we should point out how good of a job our trackers did, in addition to also reminding our viewers to please follow these runners as they progress during the tournament. They have plenty of more Link to the Past randomizer action to bring to you, and I'm sure they would appreciate it if you stopped on by and cheered them on to victory while they did some non-tournament races. I'm sure almost everyone practices. Chex, you in particular, probably have some good entertaining entrance randomizer races for them to watch, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about entrance shuffle because multi-entrance caves and single entrance caves are now in the next release coming soon will be shuffled amongst themselves, so you can have dungeons in houses, for example.
I'm excited for that because I feel like that is a more intuitive way to shuffle entrances to somebody who doesn't kind of understand the technical limitations of entrance randomizer. It's going to feel more naturally randomized.
Right.
I'll just nod my head.
You could also just go ahead and not play entrance randomizer and save yourself 3 hours of pulling out your hair. I mean, Korak keeps trying to get people to go into it, and I feel like it's a trap.
Uh-huh. I feel like you know it. You know it when you see it. I knew I wanted to play it right away. It's one of the reasons I joined SRL.
All right. Well, and that we eventually got you into Keysanity, right? So
Keysanity is a great mode, and it's like a little longer than open, and sometimes it's not as long as an entrance. So Keysanity just by itself is a great middle ground.
If we haven't mentioned officially, unfortunately, Xelnastv has forfeited from the race. So Just Defend, when he finishes here, will be the victor. We wish him better luck in the next round.
Part of me is hoping that this Desert Palace Big Key is a tracker mistake. Now, I don't wish anything bad upon the trackers, but
I'm 98.725% sure that our trackers have done a bang-up job on this and know exactly what they're talking about.
that sucks for Rambler.
Do we recall where it was?
It was the Zora ledge.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you were, I think, the only one that actually didn't do Zora domain.
Early, yes. You didn't fake flipper it.
Right.
And it's just something they would have to remember, that there was a big key sitting there. And Just Defend did remember that. And when Rambler went up and did Catfish, he mirrored, and I thought he was going up there, but he fluted out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's absolutely correct. He did bring enough money with him, too, so that he only had that ledge item to get. Just Defend makes short work of Landmo 2, and he's going to continue his climb. Meanwhile, Rambler is about to go get his shiny red boomerang, which is not the key he was looking for.
It's a shame we had to leave behind, or that I had to leave behind the blue boomerang ether tablet, if I recall correctly.
You did. Is that a personal favorite item?
It's one of my favorites.
You left behind the riot shield at Bombo's tablet also.
Oh yeah. Right.
Which is my favorite item, so thanks. Just Defend pulled through for me.
Okay.
Why does everybody get the meme items and I have to like desperately clutch to the mirror? Everyone else is like, oh, I'll just get the funny items that you don't really need. And I'm like, no, I actually need that mirror.
I'd say as far as functional items go, the mirror is my favorite. But the riot shield, there's just something about it. So it looks like Rambler now is going on a quest for the Desert Palace Big Key. And since he already did fake flipper that area, I'm a little worried. Oh,
Just defend. Oh, he head fakes and he does it anyway.
I was gonna be really upset if he walked up to it and then walked away.
Well, he knows his opponent forfeits, so he's having a little fun with chat. So
That's a good idea, actually. Now, I think I may have to save that one.
it's good fun. See, I thought he was shaking his head no, like he's like, no, I'm not touching this chest. You can't make me do it. No, 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 no. I wonder if that counted as a triple. I think those hits were too close. He might have gotten a double out of that. Oh, it didn't even count as a double. That was a single?
Wow, what a game!
Oh, that's awful.
That was like a
checks on
perfect Aga too,
Yeah.
except for the non-registration of hits. Rambler found a big 20 in the Skullwoods chest, so that was nice.
I do believe checked that a while ago.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
There's just so many big 20s to keep track of.
And they were all in Ice Palace. Wait, where's our butter sword? Oh, it has to be in GT, because nobody's going to go in GT.
Yeah, basement, probably.
Was the pod big key in this seed?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
on Laser Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Which is why if you had gone to Turtle Rock earlier, you might have gotten further trolled by some of the items you found on Laser Bridge.
Right.
Yeah, how did you feel about Pod? It's normally people go in there expecting to find something, and it was as empty as it can be. Is that something you're like, wow, I didn't find anything?
I agree. But wasn't there a big key and the vanilla big key spot?
Yeah, Skull Woods.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was that. Oh
Pod
yeah.
wasn't a big enough.
I
to
felt
waste the
really
time.
dumb going there. Instead of Turtle Rock, because I sort of left Turtle Rock and then fluted somewhere, and then refluted to go to Pod and Eastern.
You actually went to Meyer first, so that worked out really well for you.
Oh.
Well, that was before the trip to Death Mountain, though, right?
No, I believe that was after he... Well, no, you're right. It would have had to have been.
Yeah, Hammer and Hookshot were both in Meyer.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we kind of expected was you were going to go clear out East Death Mountain. You got those both the Hera Big Key and the Hera Small Key in Hookshot Cave. And then obviously going to Hera is the correct play there. And I kind of thought you were just going to go back to Turtle Rock.
Yeah. That's when I thought I would... okay. So I just saw the bomb throw from...
All right, well, Just Defend finishes up skewering the pig. We'll have a roast, and we have a second place. Well, I guess first place for his race. Time of 2:09:44. GG to Just Defend. Congratulations. Rambler finding the big key. He now remembers that he forgot, and he shoots it repeatedly with the bow. That's appropriate.
Yep.
Let's hopefully see if we can get Xelnastv and Just Defend in here to talk more about the seed.
And we're joined by Xelnastv. I want to say GG, but that was rough in more ways than one. Looks like we got Just Defend also. Just Defend, GG.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how'd you feel about the seed?
I felt alright about it. There was definitely I spent I wasted like a minute in the light world before I got Titan's Bits, and I was just like, I always have it in my mind that I need the Hyrule Castle key to go into the escape area, but this certainly isn't the case. So definitely very scatterbrained when it comes to Keysanity, because there's no holds barred.
Yeah, well, fortunately, if you would have been able to progress, say you had the hammer, and then it would have taken you forever to come back to the Titan's Mitts, that might have cost you even more time. But since you were bottlenecked by it, it helped you out in a way.
I guess so, yeah. Definitely, the seed had me worried there, because I was certainly looking for the fire rod, and in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking of all these places where it could be. Of course, if you just go straight to the Turtle Rock area, that's where it would be. So, curse the seed for being so sadistic in that way.
Well, I mean, if you're playing normal mode, you expect the fire rod is actually locking you out of Turtle Rock, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you're not used to the fact that if you have 3-4 keys, that all you're missing out of Turtle Rock are the boss item and the 2 on the right side. So, yeah, it's not a normal play if you're used to normal standard and open routing.
Hey, guys, I had a lot of fun. GG's to everyone. I'm going to take a break, but thank you for having me.
Yeah, all right. Have a good night. I can see Xelnastv trying to talk, but he is muted. There he goes. What's up, buddy?
More technical difficulties. We cannot hear you, sir.
I haven't seen him try since he unmuted himself.
Did Rambler complete Desert?
He did. He went and found the key. He remembered. He shot it full of arrows before he picked it up, then finished Desert, and he is on his way to go skewer the pig.
The landmill skill.
The trackers who I've spoken about in such glowing terms have failed me on such a level that I don't know if I can ever trust again. Just kidding. They have done a wonderful job, and I appreciate all the work they've done.
We're just gonna have to get together once this is over and do a trust fall.
Oh no! We're not doing that. No, that I can't.
It's the only way.
Have you ever tried to trust fall catch a hippo?
I have not.
Oh, the answer better be no.
I had to think. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you're scanning back in your memories.
Yeah.
Oh, I had push to talk on and didn't realize it.
Hey, Xelnastv, how's it going, buddy? So, chickens, huh?
Oh, I was just very, very mad at the disconnect, and that just kind of...
Was
yeah.
it? we weren't sure if it was the save state thing or if it was a chicken glitch.
What?
Did you load a save state by mistake? Is that what happened?
No, my emulator crashed.
I was
Oh, wow.
confused because you loaded up a different seed, so I thought you had
Oh
loaded
no, all of my ALTTP. I have like over 300 seeds just kind of sit in there, and so when I went to my emulator to load up a seed, I was like, oh, it'll obviously. So what I did is I can see my Zelda 3 on my desktop. So I just loaded that up, took the net seed. I was like, looked at the image. I'm like, I didn't have mirror shield yet. This isn't the file, which means that my file is completely gone. So I still had the web page up and re-downloaded the ROM.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because obviously if the file wasn't even in SNES 9X, it probably means that there's no save, because I don't think I save and quit. Because I found, and I was so happy because I was like, I've been experimenting with other starts, and I really like the buy bombs, go to Eastern, see what you get there. And this time it was like, hey, do you want the flute? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
You're the only one that made that play, and it would have given you a slight advantage there because one trip to Kakariko turned the flute.
Yeah.
Plus, you would have been able to flute all over the place to check some of the other locations while other people were running there. So
yeah, which is what I got to do, but 4 minutes after, and in a not correct state of mind.
yeah, it's never fun to start a race when you automatically kind of get taken out of your focus and concentration. So you have my sympathy there.
I mean, it happens. I mean, and then that scene was something. Like, even if I wasn't tilted, I was making all the same decisions that I would have made.
So you would have played
normally.
Aggle 1 no matter what, huh?
In that seed, yeah, because I would have forgotten about because I wasn't thinking about Meyer. And it was like, I don't want to do. I just thought, like, okay, Hammer's gotta be. This seed's being treated me poorly. Hammer's gonna be like over here, or like Flipper's lead into Hammer or something.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to make a gamble to kind of make up for that time.
Yeah, that was. Well, I mean, I would have probably still done that with that second castle. Like, getting the castle tower key in this is such like a huge sign, especially if like Aga can still be required.
Yep.
It's like, I had everything to do Aga, and I was like, you know what? It's gonna take me a while with this sword, but was everybody else like locked on sword 1 for like an hour?
Until East Death Mountain, so right after Misery Mire, roughly,
yeah.
maybe a little less than that.
Except for Chex probably made all the right decisions.
He played perfectly.
Instant Meyer, basically.
The other 3 runners, actually, so...
I do like an early Meyer.
I do.
My co-commentator coined a phrase here where he basically said that there was a Misery Mire starter kit in Skullwoods that you had put off for a while. So that was part of the reason why, if you hadn't gone to Skullwoods, you didn't get those items that were pretty much daring you to go there.
That was now that you say that, that was kind of weird in how this... Did anybody like notice the actual logic for the seed was like, go to Eastern, to go to Desert, to go to Eastern, to go to Adunum, to go to Eastern, to go to Desert, to go back to Adunum, to go... Like, the actual sequence for this seed, without sequence breaks, was actually dumb.
Yeah, we did notice, because when you picked up the Eastern key on the desert ledge, we kind of rolled our eyes and said, you gotta be kidding me.
I was like, no, I don't want to go there 4 times. Because the first time was that crash, right? So
yeah. But yeah, after Dark World access, it was kind of straightforward if you do Skullwoods and then go to Meyer.
If you didn't read too deeply into the castle tower key.
Right. Because yeah, I kind of was hoping to go to Turtle Rock, hoping that everyone would go there, but no one did it. And actually, it kind of would have been a bad play, knowing what we all know now. But the Hera keys were right next to each other. It's like, well, I guess I'll go do Hera now. And then everything else just kind of fell into place. The only thing that was kind of an out-of-the-way item, it seemed like, was that Swamp Palace small key, King's Tomb.
Yeah, but I mean, you had boots early in this seat. Well, you had boots there. It's like not too bad. You already had boots and cape like from there, so that wasn't bad. But I'm this seed. I saw it like where I was like not mad that Chex was done. I was like, oh yeah, that made sense. Yeah, I can see that.
It would have been real hard to catch up with him. I mean,
That's some good lines, though. Where's Sword 3? GT?
Ice Palace.
Oh. Just
Value
on the way?
Palace.
Okay. I love Ice Palace, man. That's the play I always make early.
That's right. That's right.
I almost fake flipped there. I'm not even joking. I was gonna fake flip there, really early on.
I think that was all that was in there.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It would have been worth it.
Oh
Yeah, it does. I was about to say that's totally worth it.
And it was a crystal, so.
Oh yeah, easy. I would have been so happy when I killed. Instead of killing him with just a sword is like, oh.
Yeah, it's funny. If Hammer would have been in pod, you probably would have made you would have made up for all that time that was lost.
That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for
Nice triple by Rambler there.
Yeah, that was really good.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. I should we had enough anyway.
Well, GG to you. Better luck next time.
This is for me. This tournament doesn't mean that much. I'm practicing way more for the standard tournament and the NMG tournament than anything. I have to. The NMG tournament. I have to think about my namesake. I can't embarrass it too hard.
So you're gonna change your name?
No.
Oh, I'm kidding. That's just a joke. I'm not being mean.
No, you
If I
already
could
hurt
put
his
the
feelings.
biggest Kappa face.
He already left.
Oh wow, I
Way to
did.
go.
Well, I'm a jerk.
Banned.
Yeah. Well, he's also an admin, right? So I'm done.
Yeah, instant ban.
So sorry guys. This has been fun. This is all the fun I'm gonna have. So I get for being a Kappa jerk.
If Hippo just cuts off here, we're just gonna pretend nothing happened.
Yeah, probably have one of those flash things from Men in Black where you forget I was even here in the first place. So maybe I'll write something down and etch it in wood so you don't forget me.
Rambler gets fire batted.
Yeah, he was getting a few extra hits there early. I wonder, did he buy a Mountain Dew?
A Baja Blast? I don't remember. If he doesn't have magic, he's got enough as long as he doesn't use any. Magic potion, I mean. He's back down to 1. Should be able to clean this up, though.
I just worry about his magic. If he doesn't have a potion. Since he's not using it. You're welcome, Dime. We hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my last commentary ever.
Oh no! I understand what he was thinking there.
Yeah, he had to catch that torch glitch with as much magic as he had.
I don't know if he needs the torch glitch. Because the torch does use very little magic. I think he could still get a silver arrow off, light both torches just by walking over to both of them. Get 2 silver arrow hits and another one. I think he'll be fine. It's getting a little hairy now, though.
I'm not sure why he was dashing into the fire bats.
Maybe he thinks he needs another hit. He does.
He's not getting very good spots, but
Don't play with fire, kids. It's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Fire bad. I think he's off for a cool, refreshing drink. I like how he has 1,200 rupees, but he decides to go for the cheaper option.
Just wanted to fill up that magic.
He's got to save money.
Yep.
These are rough times in Hyrule.
Is this the Will sprite that I've seen on there?
Yeah.
What is that character from?
I'm going to get shot for getting this wrong, because it's either Secret of Mana or Illusion of Gaia. I think it's the second. It's one of those very famous SNES games that I've never played before, because it cost way too much money to buy back in the day. And I just saw a race of it at GDQ.
Illusion of Gaia is the correct answer.
Final answer. After I know it was correct, because I didn't. Yeah, he's the one that like in the run where they were always yelling at the dog. Oh, and he gets the upper right corner just in time for him to have 3 potions. Of course. It's a good silverless hit there with a swipe. It's actually pretty hard to get a swipe silverless hit.
Yeah, I think it's like 1 frame. Oh. Good thing he didn't like that. Ganon was going to punt him.
I think it might be 2 or 3 frames. I remember people were trying to hit Ganon with a hammer in swordless mode. And even those 3 frames, or 2 or 3, are extremely difficult.
You know, especially with the hammer, because the item's garbage. And Rambler finishes. His time is 2:28:35. GG Rambler.
GG Rambler. Maybe we'll get him in here for a while. I don't think we
He's
have
already
another
in
race on
here.
this channel, because I don't think anyone's going to race on this channel ever again. GG
Rambler.
Rambler, how you feeling?
Oh, GG. I'm feeling like I forgot something the entire time.
Forgot something, like anything in particular? Like your keys?
Just a pretty big key that was sitting on a ledge that I saw about 10 minutes in the game that I forgot all about.
It was so long ago between then and when you got the flippers and how many places you had left to check. I actually don't blame you.
I mean, like the entire time I'm playing through, I was like, all right, this key's gonna be somewhere stupid, and I'm gonna blame Keysanity and all this. And then when I saw where it was like, if I remembered that, I probably would have won this race because I was in Turtle Rock at a pretty early time, I thought.
You were neck and neck.
Yeah, I
with
went pretty
Chex, but he had already done Desert at that point, and obviously you hadn't. So
Yeah.
he still had a bit of a nod on you, but yeah, you probably would have finished maybe 3-4 minutes behind him.
Yeah, if I remember where that key was the entire time. Because
Yeah, you had a
when I found
really
that fire
good
run, I
run.
was like, now, one thing I would have done if I had a desert key before was I would have gone to Maya first. because I didn't know if Meyer or Totorock was the last pendant, and what I would have found out Meyer was a pendant and gotten that 4th Totorock key, so I would have still made the same routing that I did.
Yeah,
Because I
would have cost you a little
the-
time though.
I opened it.
Did you guys find a Meyer map?
I did not.
Chex, you said something about knowing the like.
No,
did
I
you
kept
just-
checking my map. I was almost obsessively checking my map, but all I needed to confirm was the crystal drop from Landmola's, and then I knew that Meyer was a pendant.
So you guessed desert correctly, and NYRambler you would have guessed Meyer.
Well, I knew Desert was a pendant. I mean, I knew Desert was crystal like early on.
Did you?
Yeah, I found the Desert map like really early.
Oh, well, heck.
I skipped
Alright.
a map on the floating island.
Floating Island, yep, that had the Desert map.
Oh.
I went like when I went into there, I was like, I actually kind of triple dipped hookshot game because I went in, opened the first chest, fell, and I accidentally went out. Then I went back in, got the rest of it, and when I was like, wait, there's a map up there, and I went back in and got the map.
Well, that actually was like normally going back for that long for a map would not tend to be worth the time, but that actually was. That was a good play.
And the reason why, because I already had the 2 useless maps. I had the GT map, had the Hyrule Castle map, so I knew every map was going to be worth it except for the 3 like NPC maps, as I like to call them. And I only had one of them at the time, but I figured, I want to get the information because I was going through times like I might not need this fire rod at all because I knew Skull was a pendant.
Yep. Good call.
But yeah, when I went to Totorock and I found the fire rod, I was like, well, now I'm going to need that 4th key again.
Yeah, when you did Catfish and Mirrored, I was thinking, well, perfect. He's gonna go up and get his desert.
Yeah,
And then
if
you
I remember
flew it,
there.
and I was like, no, it's a disaster.
Yeah. Well, I'll say it anyway. Keysanity stupid. Anyway, no, because
You can say it here. Nobody's listening anyway.
yeah, I know.
You won't get disagreements from Hippo, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. yeah, I'm pretty sure. I want to see the chest count. I'm pretty sure it's going to be close to 190 for me. I skipped 20.
Well, no, not with you having not done GT.
Well, I opened 2 chests in GT, so that'll be 25. I think I checked everything else though. I didn't kill Helmsar. That's the one thing I did. I think it's the only underworld chest I didn't check was Helmsar.
I'll put you at 170.
I think I'm over 170 personally. Here, I'll speed it up for you.
Just for me? Wow.
Yeah, just for you, Hippo.
Were you surprised at Pod being? I guess you didn't even go into Pod, did you? Until late.
Oh no, I went to Pod very late.
It was useless.
It was useless. There's nothing in. Well, the one thing that was in there that I liked was the Totorock map.
I thought you were a genius the whole time because people had gone in there and there was nothing. I'm like, Ramblers.
Well, I was not.
Going
I was avoiding that like the plague because when I found the bow, I was like, all right, that gives me access to Pod. But I forgot what I did immediately after that. Pretty much opened the seater for me. I just put Pod off the entire time.
14 items of junk, so that would have paid off if you had. I think if you had gotten the desert key, you would actually made that play for real.
3 deaths all to Ganon and 174. Spoilers.
Oh, Ben approves.
Yeah, I was so happy it was deathless, and then I died 3 times to Ganon. So all because I was low on magic. For like I used the cape too much the first time, and then I just like whatever. Ganon's hard, even with red mail.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I was mentioning that you weren't getting very good spots for him. Some of the other runners had gotten some good spots on him.
Yeah, and then the last one I get.
Yeah, you finally get one.
Too.
after you're loaded to the teeth with all the drinks that you basically brought your own party pack, and then you don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, at least I got to show off my awesome execution. I was able to do. I did the hammer jump on stream for the first time.
Oh, nice! I didn't realize it was your first time. GG.
And I did one other thing really. Oh, I also did my first ever 0 circle landmolds.
Yeah, that was really good. It looked like that was like a thing. Like you're just like, yeah, this is cool. I got this and that.
I'm
and
slowly but surely getting better. It's just that I have to figure out the routing.
Oh, it was. Yeah, that Landmo 1 kill. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Limo 2,
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
a couple times, but yeah, Limo 1,
that was super smooth.
finally get a 0 cycle on that. Also,
You'll have. Go ahead.
that's I was so nervous when I was going through Ice Palace and I was going through Master Sword and no Fire Rod. I was like, I wanted to kill Colts there with Master Sword, and I found the Tempered Sword in the last possible chest. That was a good feeling.
Hey, Ice Palace always provides. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have Keysanity mastered by the end of the tournament, but you'll be sick of it so much that you're never gonna play it again.
Yeah, even when I play casual, I still don't play Keysanity. I just play open instead.
Exactly.
But
Well,
hey,
yeah,
I'm
that's
having
tournament
fun.
coming
That's
up,
all
right?
that matters.
Good. That's important. That's very important. And you're what, 1 and 2 now?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Maybe I'll finally face against people that don't, casually play all the hard modes on SRL.
I mean, like your buddy Chex here.
Like Chexhuman, who I looked up and I was like, oh, wow, he's got 500 ranking points. And every mode's like Keysanity Hell Randomizer and Entrance Shuffle and all this. I was like, well, he's better than me.
Certifiable lunatic, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I just lost a ton of points by forgetting to check in my last entrance shuffle race the Lumberjack's house, because that's where Thieves Town was.
Oh, jeez.
So it took me 3 hours and 40 minutes to complete that.
Yeah,
race.
if I want to play an Entrance Shuffle, I'll play Zelda 1, thanks.
I do want to learn that.
It's fun.
All right. Well, we're gonna close it down here. It's past my bedtime.
Yes,
I hear. So thank you once again. If anyone's left watching this, please follow all the runners. They did a good job. Please follow Gloin, because the guy is really good at Rando and runs a lot of races, so he's worth a follow. And also follow all our trackers. And let's see, what else am I forgetting? Follow, I don't know, Xelna, because he's really good.
Follow Hippo because he won 2 big races in a row yesterday. He's basically the best player in the world.
No, but thank you. I did get a Shadowrun world record. That was my highlight.
Sick.
Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Nice.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time, hopefully on a channel that you actually follow normally.
Thank you.